Those of you just joining us after watching West Virginia with a win this afternoon, welcome to Tampa and the American Conference. Watching Tulane with the ball in the black uniforms. Charge down into the USF Bulls end of the floor. Trey Dry going for the bucket. Won't go. Offensive rebound. And a foul underneath is going to go against Tulane on Ryan Smith. Alan Bestwick along with Mark Wise. Somewhat tentative start for these two teams. Tulane playing to try and advance to the 7 seed position for the American Conference Tournament. USF right now in the 11th spot, trying to, depending on the outcome of the weekend's games, see if they can get as high as 10. And both teams in their final tune-up before the who knows what can happen tournament.
And both of these teams are perimeter driven. They depend on their wing guys to do the scoring.
Troy Holston Jr. rimmed around and out.
See him hesitate on that shot. I never like for a shooter to hesitate. Shoot the ball in rhythm.
Lewis Dabney, 0, leading scorer for the Green Wave. Poured in 25 in the year's first matchup against USF. From outside. Ball goes off of 2 Green Wave players fighting for the offensive rebound. And at first meeting back on January 11th in New Orleans. USF in the home whites. Tulane in the road black uniforms. Inside, Jaleel Cousins. Ball knocked away from him, goes out of bounds. It'll go over to Tulane.
But he caught that basketball at the A in American. And guys that operate down in that high rent district, block to block, you need to catch the ball closer to the paint.
You say that's an expensive real estate?
I am.
Trey Dry goes up with contact inside. Actually, looks like he stepped on the end line.
There's the logo I'm talking about, the American Conference. If you're a big and you're catching the ball outside, watch where Cousins catches it. He's all over the A. Get all over the block.
Jaleel Cousins, the big junior from Mobile, Alabama, 6'11", 265. And yes, that Cousins, brother of DeMarcus. Shot clock at 10. Nehemiah Murillo looks to go inside, got tapped on the arm, and it will draw the foul call on Jay Hook, 24, the senior from Waco for Tulane.
USF on Wednesday night against UCF was dynamite early. Made 6 of their first 7 shots, 10 of their first 13, 1 wire to wire. They're having a hard time finding quality looks. Tulane's defense relentless in the early going.
American Conference action elsewhere of importance to the seeding for the conference tournament. Temple just knocked off UConn in Philadelphia, 75-63 from outside, knocking down a 3, Troy Holston Jr. Freshman from Queens who's had to take up some slack when the leading scorer for the Bulls, Corey Allen Jr., was rendered ineligible to a violation of NCAA rules on February 28th. Holston, one of those who's had to try and fill the gap, and he's done it quite nicely. So Lewis Dabney, 0 with the ball. Had a little bit of a scoring slump a few weeks ago. Seems to have come off that. He feeds Jay Hook. That won't go. Henson with the offensive rebound. But a putback that was well short.
Sometimes I think Collins is guilty of over-dribbling, over-probing. I thought he was really good here on Wednesday night as well.
Holston off the back rim with that 3-point attempt. Inside, Osakowski is fouled. Bodies hit the floor. It counts, and 1.
Osakowski, who Ed Conroy feels like has hit kind of a wall late in the season. The big freshman from California in transition. See the way he had his hands out? Ready to be a receiver. So many times the ball's in the air and the big guys have their hands down. They haven't gotten ready to be a receiver and a scorer. So nice job by Osakowski getting out, running the floor, and being available.
Gets the extra one there on the free throw. Osakowski, 9th in the American Conference in offensive rebounds. Guerrero. Holston. Collins. Now to Ziegler. Still looking to open someone up off a screen for a shot. Murillo runs it in. Gets the bounce off the rim, off the glass, and back through. Josh Herlihy in the game for the Green Wave. And now Keith Pinckney also in, handling the ball here, number 1. Here's Herlihy. Feeds inside. Nice pass and a nice put in there by Peyton Henson. Super interior passing. USF got caught on a mismatch after switching the ball screen. Tulane takes advantage. Just a little continuity offense that USF is running. There's a screen the screener every time there's a pass across the court. Back outside, reset with 10 to go on the shot clock. Collins looks to drive. Nice put in there, Bo Ziegler.
How about Collins, though? There's a reason why he is second all-time here at USF in assists. Has a marvelous feel.
Dabney shut off, trying to get to the inside. Outside to Pinckney. 4-3. Back iron. Holston tries to drive. With the left hand. Nice spin around move there for Troy Holston Jr.
I like the fact that both teams are looking for early offense. Both of these teams have a tendency to bog down in the half court.
And when you look at the scoring averages for both of these teams, there's a foul on Ziegler there. They barely get 60 points a game. And we're only in the 50s, and the last one between us, he would be back in his office watching as much of that one as he could before he came out here to tip his own team's game in this one.
Said he still gets a little anxious when the Big Blue Nation is on.
So Tulane with the ball, trailing by 2.
USF zone for the first time, a little 2-3.
Herlihy from just outside the free throw line.
Now, you and I have done several Tulane games this season. Josh Herlihy reminds me of a young Phil Jackson. 6'8", gangly, left-handed. Are you with me on this one?
I'm sitting here trying to put the picture in my head, and I can see that a little bit. One of the crop of young players that Ed Conway has recruited to New Orleans that he expects will be much better for the year of development. As Murillo, but Denaro Mercurius puts that one in for the Bulls. You talk to Ed Conway, one of the things that his team's been missing this year is experience inside. And not only that experience, but stepping up in conference into the American this year. He feels that with all of that under their belts for a year, his team will start next season another whole level ahead. Pinckney, the freshman from Lithonia, Georgia. Looking for some place to go as the shot clock runs down. Henson, nice, the left-hand spin.
Good shot clock awareness by Hansen, who's coming off one of his better games of the year when he went for 15 against Houston in Tulane's final home game of the season.
So tied at 13. Mercurius inside to Guerrero, and foul is going to go against USF, waiting for the number call. Meanwhile, Duncan, Gasol, Paul, and Curry. For fans of greatness, this is your game. NBA Countdown kicks off the action at 12:30. Then Bulls Spurs celebrate Noches and Abeja at 1. Then Clippers Warriors at 3:30 on ABC. So with Tulane and the ball, tied at 13, halfway through the first half here in Tampa. Jonathan Stark.
I think both teams' defenses are better than the offenses here in the early going.
In the corner, won't go for Hurley. Here come the Bulls. Collins feeds inside. Jaleel Cousins with the tap. Got a little something going here with Collins feeding the big men inside.
Yeah, he's wonderful at drawing other teams' bigs. Has a feel for it. Has an understanding of not going too far.
Hurley, he feeds inside. Peyton Henson. Cut off. Inside 10 on the shot clock. Osipkowski didn't get the touch off the glass.
So you have to answer this question on every possession. Are you getting the shot that you want, or are you getting the shot that the defense is dictating?
Collins, nice. And your answer to this point would be?
The defense is dictating what shots are being had.
4-point lead for the Bulls.
2-3, the weak spots, free throw line area, short corner.
On the shot clock. Hook. Got it. A three-pointer.
Yeah, that's the one guy you must cover at all times. A career 39% shooter from bonus land.
Curious looking inside for Cousins. Fighting with Osipkowski. Cousins got a forearm up, popped Osipkowski off the side of the head, and that is the foul. This season, Collins has played all 40 minutes in a game for the Bulls.
And with Corey Allen Jr. out ineligible, that figure is not going to go down.
No. So Tulane been able to hang with USF, despite USF having success inside, and Tulane at times appearing to struggle to find the shot they want. There's Kajon Mack, rims out, but an offensive rebound and a putback inside for Ryan Smith.
Tulane not really known as an offensive rebounding team, but Ryan Smith, big fellow, second chance opportunity, doesn't score a whole lot. That's almost a bonus field goal for the Green Wave.
Collins pinned in. Nehemiah Murillo with the ball way outside. 10 on the shot clock. Ball tipped out of bounds. It will go over to Tulane. What a big night it's going to be tonight in the ACC. Virginia and Louisville at 6:30. Then at 9, the greatest rivalry in college basketball. Duke and Carolina in a rematch after the big OT thriller in their first matchup of the year. Virginia-Louisville, 6:30. Duke, Carolina at 9 tonight on ESPN, the home court of college hoops.
Illegal screen call against Tulane. What is it about the Duke-Carolina game? And I know they're 44-44 in the last 88 meetings. But what is it about that game that always delivers?
It's something, isn't it? Shamon Williams, assistant coach for the Green Wave. I talked to Shamon during the warm-up before the game, said, what are your plans for tonight? He said, I've got my snacks, I'll be watching, and I'll be critiquing the Carolina great. It is a really amazing rivalry for sure. And I guess if you think about it, as Lou Dabney looks for some place to go with the ball, how many other instances in college basketball can you find two programs of such high level of excellence in that physical proximity to each other? Louisville, Lexington, Pickett, how many times?
Not 8 miles.
Yeah, you know.
Exactly.
Dabney uses all the rim and won't go through. Tip out of bounds will stay in the hands of USF. So when you think, and again, maybe I'm wrong, but I can't think of another one in basketball. UCLA, USC, not to that level of rivalry in basketball, the level of consistent excellence on the part of both teams,
But it just seems like every game comes down to one possession or overtime.
Sure. Holston met in the lane, but gets the roll. Troy Holston Jr. continuing to lead the way for USF.
Playing with so much confidence. He has taken advantage of the fact that Perry is out, that Corey Allen Jr. is out. He's getting more minutes, and he has delivered.
Dabney drains one from outside. Lou Dabney with his first points of the game on the board, the leading scorer for the Green Wave.
Well, you talked about Dabney's slump. He went through a 6-game stretch where he only averaged 8 points a game. But in his last 4, averaging 21. I think he's broken out of that late season slide.
Kajon Mack with the contact and the foul call there. And for Dabney, he had 2 games where he only had 3 points each. Drake Clayton into the game, 0 for USF. Hand check and a foul call. It'll be Kajon Mack again. The championship of the American Conference tomorrow in his first 4 out.
I have to believe that Temple helped itself today by holding court in that win, in that home court win over UConn. Obviously, Tulsa can improve their stock with a win on the road tomorrow, but Indiana was on that list last 4 in, and losing at home to Michigan State today in a wild, crazy finish, not going to help the Hoosiers' cause.
And, of course, there's always the wild card of unexpected conference tournament winners taking up spots for some of these teams potentially to get in to the NCAA tournament.
And that's the point to be made, Alan. If you're on that last 4 in, first 4 out, you're almost giving up control, because if a UCLA makes a run through the Pac-12 tournament, they will improve their stock and get a bid regardless of what you can do. So you can only control the things that are in front of you. So that's why it was important for Temple to win today.
J-Hook whiffed on the outside shot, but Peyton Henson was there for the Green Wave to put it in. Murillo drives. Iron and won't go. Stark with the rebound. 4-point lead for Tulane. Points, the biggest lead either team has enjoyed. Each has been up by 4 at one time. Osadkowski drove the lane, draws the contact on the floor. Anthony Collins with the foul on the arm.
I thought this was a good call because I thought Collins reached in before he took the charge. See that reach in right there? I think that's an easy call. USF had switched on the ball screen. Osadkowski knew he had a smaller player on him and tried to take advantage.
That's a second foul for Collins, and getting him in foul trouble is something the Bulls can ill afford. Nice high glass shot by Jonathan Stark.
Again, the interior passing of Osadkowski. That's twice now he's set up a teammate for an easy deuce.
USF needs a bucket here. That 7-0 run by Tulane has them behind by 6. Holston. Nothing. Julio Cousins going to get called over the back on the rebound attempt.
Again, Osadkowski in the right place at the right time.
Foul is on Julio Cousins, his second team second.
Osadkowski, the freshman from California. Watch this little wraparound pass to Stark. And Stark at 6 feet tall gets it up on the glass before Cousins can react.
So the 7th foul sends Tulane into the bonus, and Dylan Osadkowski to shoot 1-1 here. inside of 2 minutes to go in this first half. Misses the front end. Dabney from outside. No.
Second shot, third shot. Will it pay off? You betcha.
Offensive rebound. And second chance points. So now a 9-point lead.
So many times the best three-point looks come after offensive rebounds when the defense is really scattered.
Long dry spells have been the problem. Going to get a foul call, a hand check call there on Jay Hook. Long dry spells have been a Tulane problem throughout this season. Here USF is in a long dry spell now. Sunday on SportsCenter, a Cape Crusader emerged in Seattle, and his name was Phoenix Jones. Hear the story behind Ben Fodor, an MMA fighter turned crime fighter, in SC Featured Presents Phoenix Rising, Sunday 11 a.m. Eastern on SportsCenter. So coming up to a minute to go in this first half, and Tulane has stretched it out on USF. Timeout for Ed Conroy. The old use it or lose it timeout. I'll call them expert opinions.
Thank you.
There you go. So Tulane with the ball, up by 9, a minute to go, first half. And USF needs a stop at a bucket in the worst way.
USF showed zone but went man. Only Dabney recognized.
Dabney tries to split the defenders, draws the contact. It'll be on the floor. Foul will go on Troy Holston Jr. And Dabney will go to shoot 1-1.
Alan, that's a great example of all the little things that goes into coaching, the X and O part, because coming out of that timeout, USF had been zoning. So what does Orlando Antigua do? He shows zone, but it's really man-to-man. Confused Tulane, but Dabney was smart enough late in the possession.
Dabney, the junior from New Orleans, needs 24 points to reach 1,000 for his career as a Tulane player. So the lead up to 11.
With Collins out of the game, USF is really point guardless.
Holston looking for a screen and a shot. The step back. Got it. Brings a long dry spell.
That's just a shot he would not have attempted the first 3 months of the season. Confidence level through the Sundo.
Shot clock off. And Tulane going to look for the last shot, leading by 9. Dabney, 5 points in this first half so far. Jay Hook has 8, leading scorer for the Green Wave. The inside feed, Osipkowski grabs the deflected ball and puts it in. Nice stay with it for Osipkowski. And 8 minutes of that first half. So they find themselves down by 11 with the ball here to start the second half. Again, USF in the white uniforms, Tulane in the road black. There are the numbers. That took a game that was at one point a 4-point lead for USF and turned it into an 11-point deficit for the home team. Nehemias Murillo with the ball. Here's the shot clock countdown. Murillo from outside. Short. Rebound for Tulane.
Again, the Tulane defense is dictating what kind of shot the Bulls are getting. And right now, they're not very good ones.
Dabney rims that one out from 3.
See, I would like to push early. Attack the rim.
Collins fights his way into the paint. The runner won't go. Rebound and a putback and a foul. Ruben Guerrero, the big man from Spain, gets the bucket for the Bulls.
Well, there's such a thing as let the game come to you or go find the game. Here's Guerrero just being active on the glass. Outquicks Ryan Smith on that second chance opportunity.
Ruben Guerrero, the 6'11 freshman from Marbella, Spain, former member of the Spanish under-18 national team. Moved to Kansas from Spain, September of 2013, speaking no English. His parents, a couple of educators in Spain. He quickly learned English, went to prep school in Kansas, and then has come here with Coach Orlando Antigua to USF. It's been big on blocking shots, 4th in the conference in block shots, the leading freshman in that category in the American Conference. Tulane's first offensive possession with the shot clock running down. Jonathan Stark. That rims around. Fight for the rebound. Thrown back inside by Jay Hook. Wound up in the hands of USF. From outside, no for Murillo. But the internal fight by Tulane for the offensive rebound sends the ball out of bounds and back to USF.
But I don't like the quick. I don't mind the quick trigger there. Try to score earlier in possessions. Both of these teams get their offense gets in quicksand when they go under 10 on the shot clock.
Only 1 of 6 from outside the arc for USF in this game. Anthony Collins back in after sitting toward the end of that first half with 2 fouls. Nice feed inside. Nice layup by Nehemiah Murillo.
That's what I call a Kansas cut along the baseline. It seems like Kansas has perfected that offensive move over the years.
So the big deficit cut into significantly at the start of the second half. The Bulls on a nice run here. That'll be a tied up ball. Possession arrow will keep it in the hands of Tulane. Let's go inside the play.
Yeah, thank you. This is moving without the ball. The baseline cut. Even though Collins has the ball, it's the nice movement by Murillo on the baseline. Move without the ball, young players. Good things will happen. And moving without the ball is not a natural thing. When players come to college, they're so used to having the ball in their own hands. It's almost a taught skill.
I often describe any sport, but basketball, as a pyramid. The big man on any team in high school, the best player, is not necessarily going to be the best player on any team in college. And adjusting to that is a big adjustment for a lot of kids. There's Guerrero with the left-hand turnaround. Missed everything. Stark runs, feeds inside. Dry, can't handle it. Turnover. Stark having trouble. And the shot by Murillo, who's come alive in the second half. Timeout, Ed Conroy and Tulane.
Cummings are my guards, and Austin Nichols is the best big guy in the league, and I know he's missed some games because of injury, but he's a game changer with his ability to score and be a rim protector. So give me those 5 guys, and I might get back into coaching.
I'll bet you would. Feed inside, but quickly closed on by the USF defense. Now Dabney dribbles outside, but it rims out. So Tulane still looking for its first points of this second half. Here is Holston from outside. That won't go. Rebound Tulane.
Remember, I talked about the simple passes. That's exactly what Collins gave Holston. I bet that's one he'd like to have back.
A problem during the season for Ed Conroy's Tulane team has been long scoring droughts. They're in one now to start this second half. Almost 5 minutes in, and another one that doesn't go. Murillo tried to get the alley-oop knocked out of bounds as Jay Hook came back on defense, and the ball will stay in the hands of USF due to illness, and this team missing its top 2 scorers.
But what that has done is it has given some opportunities to younger guys like a Bo Ziegler, like a Troy Holston Jr., and they have taken advantage, and that will pay dividends next season for Orlando Antigua.
Holston. Contact from outside the arc. Herlihy with the foul on the three-point shooter. And Holston will go to the stripe.
That's a play designed out of the timeout by his head coach. Take a look at Holston's numbers. What he did the first 20 games of his career and what he's done the last 7.
6 of the last 7 games, 30-plus minutes for the freshman from Queens. Double figures scoring in 6 of the last 7 games, including 22 points at Houston on March 1st.
Herlihy late on the closeout. If you're going to close out and run at a shooter, you have to go by him not at him. And Hurley, he was going right at the body of Holston, and he's trying to make that mistake pay.
So the free throws there. Makes it a 1-point game. What was an 11-point deficit. At the risk of repeating myself, Tulane has yet to score in this second half. We've played over 5 minutes.
We bragged on Tulane's defense in the first 20 minutes. South Florida has raised their defensive intensity.
From the corner, Dabney, that won't go. But underneath, Peyton Henson with the offensive rebound and the putback.
Again, be active around the rim. Good things will happen.
So Tulane to a 3-point lead. Peyton Henson with 8 points and 4 rebounds in the game. A nice effort from inside the paint. Nehemias Murillo with his hands raised in the air, looking for a foul call. Didn't get it, but got the bucket. Murillo with 8 points in the game. Holston with 12 for USF. Here's Osipkowski. Early runner off the glass, won't go. He looks to the officials, looking for some contact. Murillo? No. Osipkowski with the rebound.
But that's the difference with Orlando Antigua. He's willing to give his team a lot of freedom on the offensive end.
Here's Pinckney. Up and over the block attempt from Ziegler. And Keith Pinckney, the freshman from Georgia, gets a couple for the Green Wave.
Pretty nifty finish there, left-handed off the window.
Five ties, 6 lead changes in this one. And USF's come back from down 11 at halftime. Anthony Collins, how about that? High off the glass for the point guard.
Again, so creative. And when we talked about him being creative as a passer, he can also be creative as a scorer. That little hesitation crossover, that was nasty.
Jonathan Stark not in the game for the Green Wave. We saw him get up limping a little bit after a possession before one of the recent timeouts. He's on the bench for the moment. As the shot clock runs down, Dabney misses, but underneath, waved off, shot clock violation. So the turnover, and the fans here in Tampa making a little noise for the home team.
Again, the defense doing a marvelous job of deciding what kind of shot you're going to get. So you want to be a Division I player, you better have good shot clock awareness. Notice the closeouts are all on point. As a result, Dabney has to take a contested fadeaway from that dreaded just inside the arc. So credit the USF defense on that last trip.
Stark has just come back into the game for Tulane. Coach Antigua shouting out instructions from the bench, and Collins goes to work. The inside feed to Guerrero, shut off nicely by Tulane. They come back out to Murillo and retry. 5 on the shot clock from outside. Got it.
Oh, my goodness. Just measured your dribble late in a possession.
The junior from Santiago, Dominican Republic, into double figures on the day, Nehemias Murillo. Hook inside with the bucket and the foul. Jay Hook, the senior, gets lost in the defense. The 5 seed, as a result of UConn losing to Temple today, Memphis having the tiebreaker over UConn with that phenomenal win up in Stores the other night.
Without Nichols.
You hope Nichols can get back to play some of the tournament. Of course, had the ankle sprain, came back, then suffered another high ankle sprain on the same leg, which has kept him out of the lineup. So 1-point lead for Tulane after the free throw by Hook. Let's see what USF's got. Collins into the paint. The right-hander is good.
And he's building off the game he played Wednesday night. I thought it was his best offensively definitive game. He knew what he wanted to accomplish once he got into the paint. And there you see how Collins can impact the game different ways on the offensive end.
Henson inside. Stark is fouled on his way to the bucket. Foul will be on the floor. And the foul is going to be on, it looks like, Troy Holston Jr. Sunday Championship Week presented by Dick's Sporting Goods as the women of the ACC battle in their championship game at 1. Then at 3:30 the SEC championship game. Both coming up on ESPN on Sunday. The miss for Tulane. USF with the rebound. Leading by 1. Outside, Collins. That one won't go, but a foul underneath. It's going to be on Guerrero trying to get the rebound.
Good job by Osakowski blocking out.
Here's what I was thinking about when you were talking about Collins on the last possession for USF. Earlier in the game, Collins went into the paint. They collapsed on him, and he threw the alley-oops to the big men. So now as he's probing into the lane, if they're going to protect the big men in the alley-oops, then he's going to take the shot.
Take what the defense gives you.
Absolutely. And of course, if you're Tulane, I know this sounds simplistic, but the object is to stop them both. Osakowski misses on the dunk attempt, but he gets fouled on the way to the rim. Much to the consternation of the home fans.
I love this action, though. A little fake handoff. Watch Osakowski, like a good quarterback, kind of show the ball and then keep it himself. There's show the ball, and then the keep going to the rim. Gets fouled along the way.
So that is the 4th foul on Ruben Guerrero, and he goes out of the game for USF. And Osakowski looking to see if he can make some free throws, something that's been a bit of a struggle for some of the Tulane big men, and was there.
Tulane settles into a zone, 3-2.
Ziegler strong to the rim, fouled in the lane by Dylan Osakowski. You're talking about Osakowski and some of the other Tulane big men in that overtime game they played against Houston the other night that they lost. Houston went to the free throw strike 10 times in the overtime, made 9 of the 10. And Tulane couldn't make an equal proportion of its free throws, and they wound up losing by 5.
Pretty unique that you could go into an overtime, not make a field goal, and win.
Yeah.
Aren't you with me on this rule change? Now, if Ziegler makes this second free throw, shouldn't Collins get an assist now?
That's an interesting one. I'll be the first to admit to you, I don't keep track of how they score a lot of the statistics. I just read them and interpret.
Both teams now in zones. USF got a lot of mileage early in the game out of the zone. You better know where Hook is.
Right there with the ball and the 3.
There's no sense in covering anybody else on the perimeter. 3rd all-time in making threes at Tulane. He's the guy you must find.
3 for 5 from beyond the arc today. 14 points in all for Jay Hook.
Now, if you want to attack this 3-2, the ball's got to go below the free throw line.
Rio into the lane, runs into a lot of traffic. Foul going to be called on Peyton Henson, the big sophomore from Arkansas.
Jay Hook on ball reversal. Watch the way he is so quiet with his release. That's just picture-perfect shooting form.
And it's confidence.
Here's a look at Jay Hook. I think if you made 184, that means you're pretty good at that.
On the miss, Tulane with the speed up court. Stark into the lane. Osakowski, nice right-hand turnaround off the glass.
That's the second time now. One in the first half, one here in the second half where the big fella just ran the floor and a teammate found him.
Both coaches talked to us during shoot-around today about transition defense, and that time USF's transition defense wasn't as good. Rio can't get the one-hander to go in the lane. Three-point lead for Tulane. Osakowski, the big runner over the top of Ziegler. That off the back of the iron. College probing around the Ziegler screen. Back outside. Mercurius. The freshman from the Bronx, Danilo Mercurius, with the two-pointer.
Has really had a struggling season shooting the basketball, just 37%. That looked like a confident shot.
Been getting more playing time in the last couple of games. Talked about since the Corey Allen Jr. Ineligibility.
I didn't like that shot by Stark.
Offensive rebound, though. Osakowski gets the arm bar there.
5 minutes.
Yeah. Tulane inbounds. Henson had to go up and get that one.
Now USF back to the zone. Why? Because Hook is out of the game.
Osakowski tried to feed inside. Jaleel Cousins said it went off his foot. And that will...
There's a good look at Jay Hook. One of the reasons why USF has gone back to zone. And then to switch things up out of the timeout, they go man.
Hook, the leading scorer for the Green Wave, with 14 on the bench, but for how long? Till he rotates back in.
I wonder if Tulane knows the short clock here.
Holston, tenacious defense there. Dabney gets it off the rim, but it doesn't go. Back the other way. Rio has to slow it down. Most of his teammates were well behind him.
Now we're in a one-possession game inside 8 minutes to go. Who's willing to take and make big shots?
I have a feeling you keep your eye on 5 and 25 for USF on that side. They're willing to take them. 10 on the shot clock. Inside to Jaleel Cousins. Tries to get to the glass. Osakowski tries to hold his ground. Offensive rebound and put back for Cousins.
Yeah, the big fella just kind of stays with it. Didn't really look pretty, but effective.
Cousins looking to be in a little bit of discomfort coming back down the court, rubbing on his left leg some. Dabney, quiet day for the leading scorer for the Green Wave. Only 5 points so far.
Now the ball should go back to Dabney. They've got a mismatch.
There he is for the triple.
On cue. You could see that coming. The mismatch on the switch with Cousins.
Cousins hits the deck hard after saving that ball from out of bounds. Into the lane, Holston. And the foul on the floor. And the ball will stay in the hands of USF.
Big guys, just stay with it. Keep looking at and keep your eyes on the prize. He doesn't make the first one, but able to gather and finish quickly. And then the mismatch inside on the perimeter. Dabney stepped right into that three ball.
So a 2-point game. Each team with 5 fouls apiece in this second half. Cousins out of the game. You see down the end of the bench talking to the trainer.
Don't we have to do away with this rule too this summer? If you've got the ball out under, you can't throw it in the backcourt. I got a lot of rules I want to see changed up. And at the head of the list, 30-second clock.
You want to see that shortened?
Absolutely. Coaches need to be convinced, I think, that early offense is a good thing. I think Orlando Antigua is already there. He's for it. Ed Conroy's for it.
Let's see what happens. Hook back into the game for Tulane, defending there. Here's Holston. Drives. Nice.
Really wonderful move by Holston. Speaks to the volumes of his confidence right now, the volume level of his confidence.
Hook turns around. Nice there from the senior. Shut off by the USF defense into the lane, but took a step back, spun around, and hit it.
Oh, that's really a tough shot.
Murillo.
Everybody's scoring now. Everybody's making.
And on the USF side of the things, you got some young guys in the game. Troy Holston Jr. is a freshman, being willing to step back and take some of those shots. Murillo, who made that last one, is a junior. Kicked ball there. Ziegler's feet in the way.
Alan, it seems like so much of this game, the two teams have been circling each other as we take another look at the explosive drive by Holston. And then Murillo with the elbow jumper. Again, one dribble pull up. Both of these teams have kind of been circling the ring the whole game, but don't you feel like they're both in the middle now? Just kind of throwing punches left and right?
Dabney. But the ball goes off of Troy Holston and will stay in the hands of Tulane with 17 on the shot clock. We're talking about the young, the people stepping up for USF. 13 points for Murillo, 14 for Holston. And Jay Hook leading the way by far for Tulane with 16 points for the Green Wave.
So that would be a violation in the Wise rules.
And I'm sure in your opinion, wise in more than one way. Stark.
I said, who's willing to take and make big, tough shots? Both teams shooting lights out in this stretch.
Some speculation that first to 50 might win this game. Well, it doesn't look that way. Got a long way to go in this one. From the corner, Holston's shot won't go. Rebound fought for. The Green Wave come away with it. Dabney. No, but there's Hook with the rebound and another chance for the Green Wave. Henson. Got it. Peyton Henson, the sophomore from Arkansas, with the long range. Well, a 5-point lead for Tulane. USF with the ball, just under 4 minutes to go. Team fouls Tulane with 6, USF 5. Possession arrow goes in the direction of USF if needed. Holston. The nice hesitation to let Trey Dry go up and down in front of him.
That's just a lot of want to. I want to score for my team.
Score he has today for the freshman. So now the lead back to 3. Watching for 24, Hook. Hanging out wide on this near side. Shot clock running out. Dabney looking to create. Swatted away by Ziegler, but into the hands. And the shot clock will expire into the hands of Dry, who fed it outside. Antigua's Bulls trying to get even with the Green Wave of Tulane. Down by 3. Inside of 3 minutes to go. Holston drives, runs into a lot of resistance. Ball comes up short, rebounded by Henson. Here come the Green Wave.
I know I've said this all game long, but can you get a quality look when you need it the most?
Collins trying to front Dabney. From outside, Stark got the 3 to go. Jonathan Stark with a key triple for Tulane.
Wasn't anything good about that possession until the ball went through the net. Stark has a sense of delivering in big moments.
6-point lead for Tulane. Down hard on the floor is Holston.
Holston's trying to carry this team single-handedly. Might have been a little bit out of control, but gets bailed out on the foul. Just kind of lowers his shoulder. Runs into Hook.
So the foul for Hook is his 3rd. Ryan Smith also with 3 for the Green Wave. On the other side of the ball, Holston with 3 fouls for USF. Making free throws. Could be critical as we get down the stretch of this one, too.
Free throws are all about repetition and confidence. Troy Holston Jr. playing with a lot of confidence right now.
You see USF into the bonus here. Tulane will be in a couple of more fouls. USF still with a couple of fouls, or 1 foul to give.
And that could come into play.
Inside of 2 to go. 4-point game here in Tampa. Stark drives. Got it to go. Jonathan Stark all of a sudden taking over for Tulane.
Being a difference maker.
Collins feeds outside. From the corner. Nehemiah Murillo with the answering 3. And a timeout.
With a foul to give, I'm a little more aggressive. I'm not going to allow Tulane to just utilize clock here.
3-point game. Almost a minute to go in this one. Jay Hook, who's had a terrific game for the Green Wave. 10 on the shot clock. Stark looking for a way to the rim, and he finds it.
Got the mismatch. Guerrero on him, took advantage. USF gambled with their defense and came up short.
Collins fouled as he went to the rim. And will go to the line and shoot free throws. And Stark with the foul.
Collins is one of the more difficult guards to defend in this conference because how low he is. Here's the mismatch inside. Stark with the blow by and then a little up and under on the snowflake.
Kind of looked like Guerrero was looking to find where the help was going to come from.
He wanted help. He knew he was in trouble.
6 points in the last minute, 9 seconds for Jonathan Stark.
I still think that foul to give is playing a huge role in this game. Collins can only put USF where they were about 45 seconds ago.
Back to 3, the Tulane lead. Now the full court pressure. Trying to force the turnover. But Tulane able to break it fairly handily.
If you play defense this possession and you don't come away with a stop, you will not win. I like this. They had the foul to give. They're going to have to foul again. You cannot play a possession game because there will only be 4.8 seconds difference, shot clock to game clock.
Coach Antigua not very happy with that hand check foul way out by the center court line on the part of the freshman Mercurius.
If Dry or Henson touch the ball, I would foul them. Otherwise, deny, trap, be solid with your defense. Wow, this is really rolling the dice when you're down 3 already. You just cannot wait here.
30 seconds to go. 25 on the shot clock. And there's going to be a foul underneath.
And I think Orlando Antigua is screaming at somebody to foul Henson away from the ball. They finally got that accomplished.
Nehemiah Murillo with the foul, and Henson will go to the line as Tulane gets into the 1-and-1 here. Henson is 66% free throw shooter.
USF's answer will be dictated by what Henson does here. What I mean by that, if he makes both, I think USF has to make a 3. You just cannot get back to the same spot you already were with the clock dwindling. So they've got to improve the score differential.
Henson makes them both. And a timeout for Ed Conroy and Tulane.
The Bulls would be better served by getting a 3.
Murillo charging up the court. Clock running. Looked like he wanted to go up with it. Charging into the lane. Whistle and a contact there. The foul. Mercurius will be shooting free throws. The foul going to be on Trey Dry, the senior from Baton Rouge.
The drive late as Mercurius tried to slice between defenders. Draws the foul.
Check that. I believe they called that on Peyton Henson.
Mercurius is a good free throw shooter, 83% on the year. He needs to make this. If I'm USF, I'm denying all over, seeing if I can get a 5-second count or a quick trap.
Three-point game, 20 seconds to go. Set up for the pressure. Get the inbounds to Hook. Time still running. Timeout called by Tulane.
All right, I hate to sound like...
They get the ball in to start. And the contact there by Holston. And the foul shot will come with 12 seconds to go. And Tulane being up by 3.
Alan, that's why I didn't think USF could go for 2. Because you've got to cut into the deficit, not get it back to where it used to be. Now that Bulls need a lot of help. And if I'm Tulane and Ed Conroy, I'm thinking about fouling. Not now, it's too early. But if this were to get inside 6 seconds, you've got to think about fouling.
Gets the first one.
Now that changes a lot of things. 2-possession game.
Guerrero, the only big man in there for USF, got a lot of outside shooters in the game. Makes the second 5-point lead.
Money. Jonathan Stark was money.
Gotta go. Got it from outside. And a timeout for USF. And a 4.4 seconds in Tampa. And the foul there by Holston. So Stark will go to the free throw line. Got it.
I love the fact that Tulane keeps guys on the lane. It keeps the repetition part of free throw shooting intact.
Made them both. So here we go. 3 seconds to go. Murillo with the 3 off the rim, and Tulane is going to come away with a win in the regular season finale here in Tampa.